Hey guys, it's Renee. Here today doing a spirit guide reading. So what happened was I was just shuffling the cards, and all of a sudden I got a really clear image in my head of a doctor's mask from like the plague. Uh, so it's the long mask that looks almost like a duck bill, not a duck bill because those are flatter. This is long and sharp with the pointed end. That's what I saw just now when I was shuffling. So I saw that, and then I saw a man, like with his arms crossed across him, and a sword or a staff was hanging over his right shoulder as he was facing me. So it was on my left side, across from me. And for just a moment, he had like sparkly blue crystals just right around his heart, and then it was gone. But definitely a man with the sword or sword or a staff over his shoulder. Okay, so that's what I was seeing. Those things right there. So I'm not sure yet if those have meaning to you or if those are something we'll pick up in the reading. But those were just some of the things I saw as I was shuffling the deck for you. So excuse me if I had to stop and cough a lot. Still getting over like the world's longest cold. So the top card is a representation or personality of your guide. So we have the Eight of Swords right here. We see, the witch. She's trapped here in between the eight swords. That's not eight swords. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, it is. Oh, there's one in front of her. I didn't see that one. But so she's trapped here, but she's not really, because you know the drill. She's holding herself down. She'd get up, open her eyes, and walk through these doors anytime. So what I'm feeling like, though, sometimes that cat looks like he's trying to push things out of her way, trying to help her out. So what I'm pulled to is like that cat actually being the guide and not the witch in the picture. So what I'm sensing here is definitely with like that the powerful vision I saw with like the sword or the staff swung over the shoulder like that. I feel like this is someone who's trying to really trying to help you in your life and knock some things out of the way and like help you build spiritually. I did not notice a message that came for this reading. I know we've talked a few times, so we're just going to do this like a general spiritual reading today with what your guide is trying to tell us. But if we pick up a different message, we will definitely run with that instead. But right here with this card, I'm just feeling like this cat is the guide, and it's just knocking these blocks out of the way. Now we've talked a couple times recently, and you did have an awakening sometime over the past year. I can't remember exactly the timeline right now, but I want to say within the last year you had that awakening, and it's been like a floodgate with things opening, and you've been having readings and doing your own work and recollecting, and I feel like this is definitely like your guide here, like still knocking. There's still like a few things that she needs to knock out of the way and really open you to be able to see everything. I know we've talked, you're on a healing path, and you're feeling, I think you said it's either 10 or 20% healed. So I feel like that's definitely your guide helping you push things out of the way. I'm definitely getting like female vibe even just from the kitty, but she's pushing these blocks. She's opening your mind, and eventually I feel like when you hit that 100% goal that you're talking about, the blindfold will come off, and then it'll be a lot more open of a card, if we were to pull another one for representation of this guide. But I do feel like the guide that's here today, they're definitely the like we have different guides for different things within our lives. I feel like we have ones that follow us over all of our lifetimes, then we have ones that come just for a single lifetime. But You may have a different feeling on that, but I definitely feel like this is the one who kind of has not been assigned, but who chose, who felt connected to you, to be with you in this lifetime, to help you achieve your spiritual goals and get on the spiritual path that she knows you belong on. So when you had that awakening, you met someone, else, and that is the moment that you kind of had this opening, this connection, this wake up. And I definitely feel like that's her working through you. And that's just that's the kind of gal she is. She's a helper. So this next card is, how is your guide currently helping you? And we have the High Priestess. So that's pretty cool. We were just talking about, a spiritual guide, and it's definitely her with the High Priestess. She's helping you open all these doors, open all these avenues. But I think most important is with the High Priestess. She's got the knowledge. She uses all these tools and everything, but the knowledge is inside of her, which I think is neat. When we've talked about, we're starting to talk about one of your past lives in a separate conversation, not here, but you have some of that information already, and like you've probably discovered some of it through readings, but I feel like some of it like just comes up through you. These are things you're discovering, and it could be like information you get in a reading is kind of like a stepping stone or a blast off kind of thing that's moving you on to the next step of your journey. But that was blah, blah, blah. Sometimes my tongue gets a little twisted and I just have to do that blah blah blah, sorry. But this is definitely your guide helping you. She's been waiting a long time for this moment. She probably arranged for you to run into the person who helped and started you down this spiritual path, who kind of helped you have that big awakening inside of you. I really feel like that's her. Now I'm trying to see. So I'm feeling like these pillars here, and how I was seeing something coming up over her shoulder a little bit ago, and I thought it was a man, but it was all like a black silhouette. She could have had her hair tied up, so I wouldn't see that coming down. It was just the front, but a silhouette from the front. I'm almost wondering if one of these pillars could have been the staff or the sword I saw over her shoulder. But I think we'll get more answers on that as we read along. But that was definitely just a thought that just came to me. This might be talking to that, and that's how we're getting all that spiritual connection, that blast out of the way. She's really helping you open up because she's got all that strength inside of her. She can knock all these down, throw them out of the way. And so let's do the next card is how you can help yourself. Is this the how you can help yourself? Sorry, sometimes I have to look at my my spreadsheet of my layout. I look at it while I'm shuffling, and then I don't. So I had to pull my sheet back up, and then I had to go get some water. Sorry. So the Three of Wands is, I feel like when we're looking at this here, how can you help yourself as she's helping you? Now, I really think that is looking to the future, picking a direct point and heading towards it. I feel like she's providing you with these answers, knocking down blocks, but she's also reminding you that your answers do lie within yourself. So I would see this as going on like a spiritual journey, but I don't feel like you have to, of course, physically go somewhere to go on a spiritual journey. I feel like it's just something you can do at home, in the park, wherever, in your bathroom, wherever you want to go on your journey at, go ahead. But this, I'm definitely getting that pull of just coming inside yourself, being inside yourself. If I'm not mistaken, your birthday is early September. So your tarot card, not these, but it's the Hermit. So I feel like everything does reside inside yourself, and that finding a place, finding a quiet place, a place of meditation. That's what's really going to help you continue on this path. Now, if we saw this blocked, if we saw this reversed, I would say it's blocked or it hasn't happened yet. Because it is upright, I feel like this is her more of not telling you to start something new, but she's telling you that this is the journey you're on, that you're taking the correct steps, that you still have some work to do and some opening, because it's not an overnight process. Like you can certainly have big progress and new things happening all the time, but I don't know anyone that's had like total spiritual enlightenment like overnight. So she's just reminding you here that look within yourself, find those answers, continue on this path. You're doing a right job, a good job so far. No blocks. Well, there are blocks, but you were doing, obviously we've talked already about that, removing the blocks, removing some of that, and that is going on for you. You've removed some of it so far, you still got a good chunk to go. But I feel this in conjunction here is just talking about moving, progress, continuing to be open-minded, continuing to move forward, continue seeking help when you feel compelled to, but that it may be a good idea for you at home to start doing, if you're not already doing the meditations, to open your mind, to connect to your past lives, to maybe start learning to use some of the divination tools if you're not using them already. I feel like this intuition is definitely part of you, part of your mind. It's something that you can open once all these are done, and once the blocks are all gone. You said you feel like that'll be summertime. At that point, I feel like things are going to just really move fast and they'll be easier for you. So you may get discouraged now if you try to pick up like tarot or crystals or runes, reading in the droplets or the flames, and these things aren't working, or it's small progress. You're moving in the right path. Just keep going. Keep going. All right, so the next card. Oh, I love this one. So, how can you recognize when your guide is talking to you? So this card is about teamwork, working together, and creativity. So immediately, I'm seeing the two pillars on top and the two pillars here. So I'm getting that connection to something to do with two. So yeah, I'm getting that too. So we have, the high priestess, which is two. We have the two pillars. Now, I don't believe in coincidences at all. So we've got 2, 3, 3. I feel like 2s and 3s are important to you. So, or not necessarily those numbers. Follow me here. I'm kind of just, these readings get a little crazy sometimes. I have to take a deep breath just because I'm getting information from your guides, and I'm also getting intuitive information from the cards, and they're melding together, and a lot of it comes out right, but sometimes I get overwhelmed and my mouth goes too fast for my brain, or vice versa. So synchronicities and numbers. If you've heard of 1111, that's a big thing in the spiritual community. Feels like it's like messages from your angel guides. So I'm feeling like you need to start being aware of numbers that come around you, synchronicities and numbers. If you get repeating digits, if you get, like a 33, 333, you look at the clock and it's 3 o'clock, 33 minutes past, all these repeating numbers. I am definitely feeling that right now. It's just, I'm really drawn to the numbers. That is a connection from your guide. At that moment, they're trying to tell you something. They are trying to move a block out of the way. They're trying to help you move a block out of the way. You intuitively discover something, open your mind. When you see numbers, it's a sign that you're doing the right thing. Or if you're questioning yourself at that moment, it might be just them saying, don't question yourself. You are doing the right thing. So I'm really feeling a strong connection to that. My personal number I've been seeing absolutely everywhere lately is 111. So I would just be aware of what numbers are popping up, see if you see repeating digits, and then see if you see that same repeating digit throughout the day or weeks or whatever. But I feel like that is definitely the moments that are around those repeating numbers. Those are the moments your guide is trying to convey something to you. Okay, so now we're going to go to working on this lifetime. And we have the King of Pentacles. To me, this is like a very... obviously, it's a card of abundance because it's the Pentacles. It's a Pentacles card, but it's like a card that's very much about giving back and sharing, and not only that, but also receiving and accepting and being thankful for every small gift and opportunity. Again, with this not being reversed, I feel like this is a lesson you're already working on in this lifetime, but I do feel like it is something. I just saw something. So I just saw a woman with again, I'm not seeing faces. I'm just kind of like seeing outlines. So she's got, I'm just seeing her head. It's just, okay, so all I saw, let me see if I can see anybody like this on the cards. Now, she's got poofy, like dark hair, and it's a nice like 70s poof. I'm trying to think of maybe, Farrah Fawcett, maybe that kind of hair, but she's here right now. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't mean like here in this room with me, but I mean she's alive right now. She's on this planet right now. So, and if she's not, then her soul is. But I don't know if that has a connection with this card. I've been getting a lot of visuals today, but they're usually the visuals will come at a more sensical time, but today they're just kind of dumping on my lap, and sometimes they're not making sense till the end of a reading, and sometimes they are not making sense to me, but they're making sense to my clients, and sometimes it means nothing. But I'm just really seeing that, like a really pretty poofy dark hair, and it's probably like a little bit past shoulder length, so not super long, but I'm just seeing that right now. So I feel like, I don't know if that has something to do with this card. No, I don't. If it does, I'm not sure what it is. If that's someone you know, I'm not getting anything else besides that dark hair, but if that's someone you know that can kind of help you, point you in a direction where you can give back. I know I just read another email from you where you mention you're an actress right now in this lifetime as well in a past one, and I think maybe giving back as in can you do acting classes for children, or maybe a senior center, or maybe it's not even that, but just maybe doing something as simple as YouTube videos with like instructional, something that you know how to do. But I'm just really getting this whole giving back and receiving from this card here. So that's something that you could definitely do if you were doing like YouTube instructional videos. I feel like, you could do those. Those people that have those really good channels, they have commercials and then they make profits. So I feel like that is giving and receiving at the same time. But so that's definitely something I'm seeing is a lesson for this lifetime, is to find something you can do that's going to be worthwhile, that's going to give back to other people, that you're also going to profit from. And the profit might not even need to be money. That profit doesn't even need to be money. That profit could just as easily be, joy, getting joy back. No, maybe not. Okay. Is the profit money? Yep, I'm getting more of a yes. So, so I think that's something that, and I feel acting, you've got the YouTube option, but you've also got whatever you do act in, movies, TV shows, plays, whatever you're doing. I feel like you're probably giving back already with some of your storytelling and the joy you give people when they come to watch you perform, whether it be on screen or in person. But so I feel like this is something you are working on, but I feel like there's something else that maybe excuse me, maybe you've kind of been leaning towards. Let me see if I can get a so I feel like there's maybe something else you've been leaning towards giving a little bit more, and you don't know what. And so either if you know that if you know that woman I was talking about, which is probably it's probably impossible, do we all know a woman with dark hair? This situation involves your past life memories. Okay, so maybe the woman I'm talking about, that was a friend from a past life. I'm not sure. Maybe it could have been you in one of your past lives that you remember. Excuse me. Okay, so I brought my water over here so I can hopefully get a handle on this coughing and choking situation. But, so I thought this was interesting, talking about past lives. But I do still feel like she's here, on this earth right now, which tells me she's reincarnated as well. So I think the hairstyle I was picking up probably was a woman in the 70s with that, because that word I was getting was Farrah Fawcett. And so that's probably the hairstyle she had then. But that's interesting. So maybe that's something that I'll pick up in the other reading I'm doing for you. Maybe I'm already starting to pick up something from that reading, because I did read that email earlier today. But I really feel so that life you were an actress, this life you're an actress, that combines together the giving back. So I am now, how I was kind of getting that feeling that it had something to do with your acting, giving back by giving lessons, or just by giving people fulfillment when they come to see you, or doing it on YouTube. But I was also getting from my pendulum that it is a financial situation where you'll be giving. People will definitely feel like they're getting their soul filled with that, but you'll also be receiving profit and maybe some emotional happiness there. Yeah, and then okay, so what are your gifts? So it's this cup running over here. So I feel like your gifts are that giving back. And I am, of course, drawn to, I believe with the Ace of Cups, with the cups, we do see like more of your artists. So when we're talking about being an actress, I definitely am picking that up here. Yep. Yeah, I'm definitely picking up actress vibe here. Just from the cups, bringing people, filling their emotional cup, which I feel like I said that just a little bit ago, or filling their emotions, happiness, giving them joy, and you're getting it as well. But you're also financially being rewarded here with the pentacles and the abundance. But so I definitely feel like your gift is very easy to understand here. Your spirit guide wants you to know that what you're doing with your acting is a great use of your time and your talent, and that's obviously something that's spilled over from your previous life, if we're getting that card there. Okay, and then the next card is going to be what is that connection with your spirit guide on the spirit plane? And these are always super interesting, because it's just so exciting and interesting to think of us on this other plane. Okay, this hairstyle actually is kind of like the hairstyle I was seeing in my mind, except for the one I was seeing in my mind was longer, a little past shoulder length. But that's really like the kind of hairstyle, and I think that's probably a male witch. But that's about the poofiness that I was seeing earlier. So your connection with your guide on the spirit plane, I really feel like that's one where, especially now with the spiritual awakening you are working your way through right now and connecting with everything so well, I feel like it's like a very knowledgeable one. Like she is just feeding you knowledge. Like if you go there, if you astral project there, if you do a meditation and talk to her there, if you at night when you're sleeping, maybe you're with her and you just don't have all those memories. I know sometimes I am, and then sometimes I remember about it some point the next day, like that's what happened the night before. So I feel like this is definitely a card that just tells me that you guys are very much in a working relationship right now. She's just really working to like break down barriers, and the way she thinks she can do that is with the information. So the healers you're going to, and like the other past life work you've been doing, that is definitely something that's filling you with information, and filling you with information on how to empower and take care of yourself and move forward in this journey. So I think even when you're there, it's not like you guys are just hanging out, hugging, watching the waterfalls of gold overflowing, but you guys are actually working and studying and healing while you're there. That's really neat. Okay, sorry to keep leaning back. My computer's like over there, or else the glare is too bright for here, and my computer has the list. I should just write it down in my journal, but I keep forgetting. Oh, I did, but well, we'll see. All right, so what did I just say? Sorry. What do you need to be aware of right now? So we've got the Two of Wands. So I think what you're having to be aware of right now is you're right after that. Yeah, and we have that two again. Yeah. Okay. So we have the two here, and we have the two for the High Priestess. So I feel like that, and then we have the two torches, like we've seen in a couple of places. So this, to me, I'm looking immediately at like the world in your hands, and I think what this is saying is you are just like you're not at that very tippy first place entrance into your spiritual journey. But you are only steps past that, and I know why. It's because of all your healing that you're going through, and some of that blockage that you have there, some of the things you need to heal. And once you do that, I feel like this card is saying, right now you're just kind of at that beginner, not a beginner level, not like a level, but I mean it's still, you said when you looked into that one person's eyes, I'm not going to use names here, but when you looked in that one person's eyes, you saw like all these things happening, you saw everything, and that was kind of like this tipping point for you. So I feel like you're just past that, but this earth right here in the hands is like, you have so much more to grow. Like, I don't even think any of us can really fathom like the amount of growth we can go through and what we're going to learn. That earth right there is just like, you have the world in your hands. You can connect to so much on this planet, and into the solar system, into the universe. Like, you have just all these gifts waiting inside of you. You're only at the starting point, so do not get discouraged. Do not think less of yourself if you have maybe a couple weeks where you don't have any breakthroughs. Like, this is a process. I've been a witch like for 20 something years, and I'm still learning and developing and changing and growing. So this is definitely Just like this really exciting card for you, like, just wait, like there's so much coming. Every little stepping stone, like every little stone builds like this beautiful castle, and you're gonna have like this giant mansion of a castle here at the end. So, advice for your spiritual path, we have the Five of Swords, which is totally what I was just picking up on. Like, do not get hung up on what you don't have, what you haven't accomplished yet. The same as don't get hung up on, what you have accomplished and what you're doing maybe better than other people. I feel like this is definitely go at your own pace. You're going to be getting like all these gifts, like we've just discussed over here, where like we have like all this smoke and the smoke. So I feel like, you have all these gifts. They're all coming in their own time. Don't be depressed if like somebody else started on their journey about the same time as you, but they're this much further. And then don't get a big head, if you're this much further and there's other people just starting, or they've been working on it for years and years and years, and you've moved further than them. You had a spiritual moment, you had an awakening, and I feel like some of this stuff is going to come quicker and easier for you than it does for, not for everybody, but for some other people. And because of that, I think it's just very important that you stay humble, and remember everyone's path is their own. Now, I'm not saying this is something that you're doing. I'm not saying you have a big head. I'm just saying this is something you're, and none of these messages are from me. It's all stuff coming through me, through your spirit guide, showing me and directing me through these cards. So I just feel like your guide is just, telling you, be courteous. Just continue to be, loving, open, and excuse me, courteous. Oh. Water is really good with lots of ice. So, final words. I kind of want to maybe use a different deck because I feel like a lot of the messages here are just kind of becoming the same because that's what your guide was trying to tell you. But I want to maybe go ahead and draw final words, giving and receiving. That's what this card is, giving and receiving, which is underneath this other one that I felt the giving and receiving from. So I do want to pull, let me see here. I just want to pull two cards from the, well, there's one. So this is the, we were using the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is my absolute favorite deck. I love the imagery and the stories it tells. My other favorite deck, or my second favorite deck, is, whoops, well, I guess we're going to have three cards, is the Book of Shadows, especially the So Below version. It is very modern. It's very modern storytelling. Whoop, sunlight. Yep. So I love that one. So we're gonna go ahead and, I wear glasses and I took them off at some point. I don't know why, but now they're on. So I can see again. I'm gonna look at these and see if there's just anything that I'm picking up. So, right away, I'm seeing we've got two major arcanas right here at the very beginning, Justice and Judgment, and I really feel like that's just a kind of like a point we've hit on a little bit, but just to not judge yourself too harshly, be yourself, don't expect anyone else's journey to be yours. And I feel like if you're able to kind of accomplish that and just let your journey be your journey and, select what you want, leave behind what you don't want, then I feel like we have this, this other card, the Justice card, and that's, the law of karma, like, things working how they're supposed to. So I feel as if this card is kind of just saying, it's reiterating some of that. Just take your time, allow the healing to happen, and if you do, you're going to be rewarded by everything or not kind of, but rewarded by everything spiritually coming at you. So I wanted to see, this Major Arcana card here. I like to look for like other coincidences. And then we have the Queen of Wands right here. So it's two women at a fire pit. I feel like this card, yeah, it is. So it's talking to me about healing work and giving back again. Definitely the healing though. And so let's come back. It's coming out reverse. So I feel like whatever you're doing with your healers, that's definitely working. This card is saying to me, you need to keep healing outside. You do have all the stuff we talked about inside of you, but I feel like your guide is showing you the work that you've been doing. You still have ways to go for the healing, but the people that you're going to, the ones you're looking up to for this healing, they have your best interest at heart, and they are definitely working to help you. I don't think this is a question you had, because you can feel, you've told me, you feel that how much is removed and all those awakenings and stuff. So I don't feel like this is a question you had. I feel like this is just more of an encouragement. Like, this is really what is preventing still a lot of that growth is just the blockages and the healing you have to do. So I think this is just encouragement saying you are still on that right path. You're still, this is the way to get to basically becoming this lady right here. Like, the one your spirit guide is basically, how she's helping you and everything. So you do have a past life reading, and it's a specific past life which I've done for myself. I have not done for others. So we talked about that, and I'm going to try and see if I can channel that particular past life. I'm feeling like we had a really good reading, and like a lot of things came up. So I'm going to be trying to do that past life reading like right now. As soon as I turn off the camera, I'm going to restart and kind of fix all the cards up and start that. But if I can't tap into that life today, I'm probably going to try again on Tuesday. I'll email you this, but I'm probably going to try that again on Tuesday, just because I'm kind of feeling Tuesday. But then if I don't get it then, we'll go ahead with that other plan we were talking about, since this is a specific life you're trying to get into. I have a really good feeling, though. I have a good feeling that if I don't get into it today, I'll get into it on Tuesday, and I just keep hearing Tuesday, so I don't know what's going on with that. What? Yeah, okay, I definitely feel, this card just shot out at me again, so I'm feeling like I'm either going to get, it's going to be a good opportunity right now, or I'm going to look at the moon phases and see which one I like best coming up in the next few days if I don't hit that connection today. But I'm having a really good feeling about this. Okay. So I really hope you enjoyed that reading. That was the Spirit Guide 10-card reading. Is available on my Etsy if you're here and you're not my client. I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I hope you guys all have a super blessed day. Bye.